What if I told you that you are a universe? Not in a metaphorical, poetic sense, I mean literally. A walking, talking, thinking cosmos of such staggering complexity that it rivals the stars themselves. You are an intricate collection of systems, a biological machine so advanced that no technology on Earth can even come close to replicating it. We think we know ourselves, but the reality hiding just beneath our skin is more bizarre, more brilliant, and more unbelievable than you can possibly imagine. Over this journey, we're going to uncover 100 of the most incredible facts about that machine, about you. So let's start at the very beginning. Not your birth, but the birth of everything. Our first mind-bending truth is this. You are made of stardust. That's right. Almost every single element inside your body, from the calcium in your bones to the iron in your blood, was forged in the heart of a star billions of years ago. These stars lived, they burned, and when they died in massive explosions called supernovae, they scattered these essential ingredients across the cosmos. Over eons, gravity pulled that stardust together to form new stars, new planets, and eventually, everything and everyone you've ever known. You aren't just living in the universe is literally living inside of you. Every breath you take is a mix of atoms that were once part of a dying star. It's the most intimate connection you have to the history of everything. From that cosmic scale, let's zoom all the way down to the impossibly small. Your body, that vessel of stardust, is composed of an estimated 7 octillion atoms. That's a 7 followed by 27 zeros. To give you a little perspective, the number of stars in the entire known universe is estimated to be somewhere around 200 sextillion. This means you have thousands of times more atoms in your single body than there are stars in the observable universe. It's a number so vast, it's practically meaningless to our brains, but it's a fundamental truth of your existence. Each of these tiny building blocks is meticulously arranged, working in perfect harmony to create the person listening to my voice right now. And tucked away inside the nucleus of almost every one of the 30 trillion or so cells built from those atoms is your personal instruction manual. And what a manual it is! I'm talking about your DNA. If you were to take the DNA from a single human cell and unravel it, stretching it out end to end, that delicate strand would be about 2 meters or 6 feet long. Now, here's where it gets truly wild. If you could take all the DNA from all the cells in your body and line them up, that single, impossibly thin thread would stretch from the Earth to the Sun and back over 600 times. It's a biological hard drive containing about 3 billion base pairs of information, the code that dictates everything from the color of your eyes to your predisposition for certain traits. All of that information, a library of data that would stretch across the solar system, is coiled up and packed into a space you can't even see. But what good is an incredible instruction manual without a supercomputer to run the whole show? Let's talk about the 3-pound universe nestled between your ears, your brain. Your brain is, without a doubt, the most complex object we've ever discovered. It contains roughly 86 billion neurons, which is about as many stars as there are in our Milky Way galaxy. These neurons are constantly firing, communicating with each other through electrical impulses. At any given moment, the electrical activity happening inside your head generates enough power, about 12 to 25 watts, to light up a low-wattage LED bulb. So, the classic cartoon image of a light bulb appearing over someone's head when they have an idea isn't just a metaphor. Your brain is literally a low-power generator, constantly humming with the electricity of your thoughts, dreams, and perceptions. And while that brain is busy processing the world through your senses, one of those senses has a truly bizarre and unique feature.
Let's look at your eyes, specifically the cornea. The cornea is the transparent outer layer at the very front of your eye, the window that lets light in. It's a critical piece of biological equipment, but here's the strange part. It is one of the only tissues in your entire body that has no blood vessels whatsoever. It doesn't get its nutrients and oxygen from your blood like almost every other part of you. Instead, it gets its oxygen directly from the air and its nutrients from the tear fluid that coats your eye. This lack of blood supply is why corneal transplants are so successful and have a very low rejection rate. The recipient's immune system, which travels through the bloodstream, never even realizes a foreign tissue is there. It's amazing how our bodies find these unique, elegant solutions to survive. But sometimes survival gets intense. Let's journey from the delicate, bloodless window of the eye down to the churning furnace in your gut. I'm talking about your stomach. The primary digestive fluid in your stomach is hydrochloric acid, and it is astonishingly powerful. On the pH scale, where 7 is neutral, your stomach acid can range from 1.5 to 3.5, making it acidic enough to dissolve metal. Seriously. If you were to place a typical steel razor blade in a beaker of stomach acid, it would completely dissolve in a matter of hours. So how does your stomach not just dissolve itself? It protects itself with a thick layer of mucus that is constantly being replenished. Your body has essentially built its own hazardous waste containment system, allowing it to liquefy the food you eat without digesting itself from the inside out. This incredible internal power is matched only by the body's external resilience. Think about the barrier that contains all of this amazing machinery, your skin. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and it is in a constant state of renewal. You are shedding dead skin cells at an unbelievable rate, somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000 of them every single minute. That adds up to about 9 pounds or 4 kilograms of skin cells every year. That dust you see floating in a sunbeam in your house? A significant portion of that is made up of the dead skin cells shed by the people living there. You are essentially building a brand new outer layer of yourself every 2 to 4 weeks. You are not the same person physically that you were a month ago. We've journeyed from the hearts of distant stars to the dust on your bookshelf, and we've only just begun to reveal the secrets you carry within you every second of every day. The machine is far more incredible than you know. All right, we've just scratched the surface, but now we're going beyond skin deep. And speaking of skin, let's start right there with the largest organ you possess. You might think of it as a simple protective layer, but it's a dynamic, ever-changing ecosystem. And here's a fact that might make you look at the dust in your home a little differently. Over the course of your life, you will shed, on average, around 40 pounds or 18 kilograms of skin. That's like shedding the weight of a small child entirely made of your own dead cells. Every single hour, you lose between 30,000 and 40,000 skin cells. They flake off, float away, and become a major component of household dust. In fact, some studies suggest that up to 50% of the dust in your home is actually human skin. So the next time you see sunbeams illuminating little specks of dust dancing in the air, you're not just seeing dirt, you're seeing a microscopic graveyard of former yous. These shed cells provide a veritable feast for billions of dust mites, tiny creatures that live in our carpets, beds, and furniture. It's a slightly creepy but perfectly natural cycle of life happening all around you, fueled by the constant renewal of your body's incredible outer shield. From the organ that covers us, let's move to the stuff that grows out of it, hair. Whether you have a luscious mane or are rocking a bald look, your body is a hair-growing machine. Let's ignore the length of any individual strand for a moment and consider the total output. If you took all the hair the average person grows across their entire head in just 1 year and laid it end to end, it would stretch for over 10 miles, or 16 kilometers. That's long enough to run the entire length of Manhattan and then some. Now, extrapolate that over a lifetime. An average person will grow an astonishing 590 miles, or about 950 kilometers. To put that into perspective, that's like growing a single strand of hair long enough to stretch from London all the way to Berlin, or from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Each of the 100,000 to 150,000 follicles on your head is a tiny, independent factory, tirelessly producing keratin filaments. It's a testament to the relentless, quiet work your body does every single second, even when you're just sitting there watching this video. This constant, silent production is a theme in our bodies, but sometimes our bodies are anything but silent. Take, for instance, a sneeze. It's a sudden, explosive, and completely involuntary act. But have you ever considered the sheer force you're unleashing? When you sneeze, the air, saliva, and mucus are expelled from your nose and mouth at speeds up to 100 miles per hour, or 160 kilometers per hour. That's hurricane force wind, a biological catapult firing microscopic particles into the world around you. This incredible velocity is why a single sneeze can send around 100,000 germs flying into the air, capable of traveling across an entire room in seconds. And here's the kicker. Ever wondered why it's physically impossible to keep your eyes open when you sneeze? It's not, as the old myth suggests, to prevent your eyeballs from popping out. The force, while powerful, isn't nearly enough for that. The real reason is a neurological reflex. The signal your brain sends to trigger the massive contraction of your chest and diaphragm for the sneeze is so powerful and widespread that it also triggers the muscles that control your eyelids to clamp shut. It's an involuntary reflex arc, like when a doctor taps your knee. The command to sneeze and the command to blink are simply neurologically linked. Your brain, in its efficiency, just fires both commands at once. From explosive ejections, let's turn to a more gentle, yet equally prolific bodily function, creating saliva. You probably don't think much about the drool in your mouth, but it's one of your body's unsung heroes. It kickstarts digestion with enzymes, neutralizes acids to protect your teeth, and makes it possible to taste and swallow food. And the amount you produce is staggering. The average person produces between 0.5 to 1.5 liters of saliva every single day. Let's do the math over a lifetime. If you live to be around 80, you will have produced over 25,000 gallons, or nearly 100,000 liters of saliva. That is enough liquid to fill not one, but 2 average-sized backyard swimming pools. Imagine that, 2 entire swimming pools filled to the brim with your own spit. Your salivary glands are working around the clock, with production peaking during meals and slowing down dramatically while you sleep, which is one reason you might wake up with a dry mouth or dreaded morning breath, as bacteria have had a chance to multiply without being washed away. Now, let's look at something incredibly detailed. Take a look at your fingertips. Those unique swirls and ridges, your fingerprints, are more than just a convenient form of identification. They are formed before you are even born, around the 13th to 19th week of gestation. As a fetus moves around in the womb, touching the amniotic sac, the pressure on the developing layers of skin causes them to buckle and fold into the distinct patterns we call fingerprints. This is why not even identical twins, who share the exact same DNA, have the same fingerprints. Their genetic blueprint is the same, but the unique, chaotic pressures and movements they experienced in the womb ensure their patterns are completely different. For a long time, scientists believed the primary purpose of these ridges was to increase friction for better grip. While they do help, especially on wet surfaces, a more recent theory suggests their main function is to amplify vibrations.
The ridges act like tiny sensors, enhancing your sense of touch and allowing you to feel fine textures with incredible sensitivity, sending more detailed information to your brain about the surfaces you interact with. From the tips of our fingers, let's journey inward to one of the most hostile environments in the known biological universe, your stomach. To break down the food you eat, your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, a substance so corrosive it's used in industries to process steel and tan leather. The acid in your stomach has a pH between 1.5 and 3.5, making it acidic enough to dissolve metal. Seriously? In controlled experiments, a razor blade can be completely dissolved in stomach acid in about 2 hours. So why doesn't this powerful acid just eat right through our own stomach? The answer is a brilliant, multi-layered defense system. The stomach lining is coated in a thick layer of bicarbonate-rich mucus that constantly neutralizes the acid before it can touch the stomach wall. On top of that, the cells of the stomach lining itself are incredibly resilient and regenerate at a phenomenal rate. You essentially get a brand new stomach lining every 3 to 4 days. It's a constant, high-stakes biological arms race, with your body perfectly balancing extreme digestive power with intricate self-preservation. This theme of self-preservation, of ancient systems still at work within us, brings us to our final point in this section, a strange and fascinating reaction you've definitely felt before. You're watching a scary movie, or you step out into a sudden cold breeze, and instantly the hairs on your arms stand on end and your skin erupts in a sea of tiny bumps. Goosebumps. The scientific term is piloerection. Each of those little bumps is created by a tiny muscle called an erector pili muscle, which is attached to an individual hair follicle. When this muscle contracts, it pulls the hair upright, causing the surrounding skin to bulge. But why? This is a vestigial reflex, a leftover trait from our much hairier evolutionary ancestors. For an animal with a thick coat of fur, making their hairs stand on end has 2 benefits. First, it traps a layer of air close to the skin, providing better insulation against the cold. Second, it makes the animal appear larger and more intimidating to a potential threat. For us, modern, relatively hairless humans, the effect is useless. We don't have enough body hair to make a difference in warmth or to scare off a predator. Yet, the ancient neurological wiring remains. So the next time you get goosebumps, you're experiencing a ghostly echo from your evolutionary past, a biological memory of a time when being fluffier meant survival. Upbeat, curiosity-driven music starts, then fades to a subtle background hum. What if I told you that the most complex, most mysterious, and most powerful object in the known universe isn't orbiting a distant star or hidden in a theoretical dimension? What if I told you it's made of fat and water, runs on the same energy as a piece of fruit, and you're carrying it around with you right now listening to these very words? Last time we explored the incredible scaffolding of our skeleton and the powerful engines of our muscles, but all of that intricate machinery is just a puppet. And today, we're meeting the puppet master. Prepare to have your mind blown by your own mind as we dive into the brain's secret universe. Let's start with the sheer scale of it all. Your brain contains somewhere around 86 billion neurons. For a long time, the number was quoted as 100 billion, but a more rigorous 2009 study gave us this slightly smaller but no less staggering figure. 86 billion. What does that even mean? Well, there are an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy, so you have a galaxy's worth of processing units nestled between your ears. But here's the secret. The real magic isn't the number of neurons, it's the connections between them. Each of those 86 billion neurons can form thousands of links with other neurons, creating a network of connections, or synapses, that is mind-bogglingly vast. We're talking about an estimated 100 trillion synapses. 100 trillion! That's more connection points than all the stars in 1,500 Milky Way galaxies. It's a web of complexity so immense that it is, quite literally, thinking about itself right now. Every memory, every fleeting thought, every brilliant idea is a unique electrical pattern flashing across this impossibly intricate cosmic web. And just how fast do those patterns flash? Well, that brings us to the brain's incredible speed. 16. Information traveling through your brain moves at a variety of speeds, but the fastest nerve impulses can clock in at a blistering 268 miles per hour, or about 432 kilometers per hour. That's faster than a Formula One race car at full throttle. These high-speed signals are reserved for critical information, like pulling your hand away from a hot stove, or the rapid-fire signals needed for a professional athlete to react in a split second. But here's a fascinating detail. Not all information needs to travel in the fast lane. Signals for dull, aching pain, for instance, travel along much slower, unmyelinated nerve fibers, sometimes ambling along at just 1 or 2 miles per hour. Your brain literally prioritizes information, wrapping its most important superhighways in a fatty, insulating layer called myelin, which allows the electrical signal to leap along the neuron at incredible speeds, while the less urgent country roads are left uninsulated. It's an efficiency model that puts any city planner to shame. Now, running a supercomputer with 100 trillion connections at race car speeds must take an incredible amount of power, right? Absolutely. Your brain is, without a doubt, the biggest energy hog in your body. Despite making up only about 2% of your total body weight, roughly 3 pounds or 1.4 kilograms, your brain consumes a whopping 20% of your body's total oxygen and calorie intake. Think about that. An organ that weighs about the same as a bag of sugar is demanding 1/5 of your entire energy budget, even when you're just resting or sleeping. What is it doing with all that fuel? It's constantly working, maintaining cell health, firing off signals, and running what scientists call the default mode network, a sort of background activity that's active when you're daydreaming or letting your mind wander. This relentless energy demand is why a lack of oxygen is so devastating. Within just 3 to 5 minutes without oxygen, brain cells begin to die, leading to severe and often irreversible damage. It's a high-performance engine that requires a constant, uninterrupted fuel line. And all that intense power generation has a rather luminous side effect. Believe it or not, all that energy coursing through your neural network means your brain is electric. 18. While you're awake, your brain generates between 10 and 23 watts of electrical power. That is enough electricity to power a low-wattage LED light bulb. This isn't a metaphor, it's a literal, measurable fact. Every time a neuron fires, it creates a tiny electrical discharge. Multiply that by billions of neurons firing thousands of times, and you get a constant, humming electrical field. This is precisely what an EEG, or electroencephalogram, measures when doctors place electrodes on a person's scalp. They're reading the collective, rhythmic electrical activity of your brain, the very electricity of thought itself. So the next time you have a bright idea, you can smile knowing you literally have a light bulb going off in your head. So we have this electric, energy-guzzling supercomputer, but what is it actually made of? The answer might surprise you. If you were to remove all the water, you'd find that 19, your brain, is the fattiest organ in your body, consisting of at least 60% fat. Now, this isn't the same kind of fat you find on your hips or belly. This is special, structural fat that is essential for brain health and function. A significant portion of this is an omega-3 fatty acid called DHA, which is a primary structural component of the cerebral cortex and the retina. This fat is absolutely critical. It builds the cell membranes of every one of those 86 billion neurons, and, perhaps most importantly, it forms the myelin sheath, that insulating layer we just talked about that allows nerve impulses to travel so quickly. Without this high-fat content, your brain's signals would slow to a crawl, and its very structure would fall apart. This is why healthy fats from sources like fish, nuts, and avocados are often called brain food. You are literally providing the raw building materials for faster, healthier thoughts. With all this complex structure, what is the brain's storage capacity? We've all had that feeling of our brain being full, especially after a long day of studying. But the truth is, your brain's storage capacity is considered functionally limitless, or at least so vast we can't yet quantify it. Scientific estimates, just for fun, have ranged from a few terabytes to 2.5 petabytes. A petabyte is 1,000,000 gigabytes. To put that in perspective, 2.5 petabytes is enough storage to hold 3 million hours of YouTube videos. You would have to leave a television running continuously for more than 300 years to watch it all. But here's the most fascinating part. Your brain doesn't store memories like a computer hard drive, which files away data in specific locations. Instead, a memory is a pattern of connections, recreated and strengthened every time you recall it. This is why memories can feel fuzzy, change over time, or be linked to a smell or a song. You're not playing back a file. Your brain is rebuilding the memory, live, every single time, from trillions of possible connections. This idea of rebuilding and rewiring leads us to our final and perhaps most empowering fact about the brain for today. It is not a static, finished object. 21. Your brain is constantly changing its own structure and function in response to your thoughts and experiences, a property called neuroplasticity. Every single time you learn a new skill, study a fact, or even just have a new thought, you are physically altering the wiring of your brain. Neurons that are used frequently develop stronger connections, making them more likely to fire together in the future. It's the physical basis of the phrase, "practice makes perfect." When you practice a guitar chord, you're not just training your fingers, you're literally carving a more efficient neural pathway for that action. This means the brain you have today is not the brain you have to have tomorrow. You have the power, through your focus, your actions, and your learning, to actively shape the physical landscape of your own mind. It's an ongoing, lifelong renovation project, and you are the architect. Now, from the silent, thinking command center of the brain, we journey to the body's thundering engine room. Forget any machine ever built by human hands. What you have inside your chest is a masterpiece of endurance, a biological pump that runs for decades without a single scheduled maintenance check. In fact, your heart is such a relentless workhorse that it beats around 100,000 times every single day. Think about that. That's not a typo. 100,000 beats. By the time you finish watching this, it will have beaten thousands of times. Over the course of a year, that adds up to more than 35 million beats. If you live to be 80, your heart will have pulsed nearly 3 billion times, pumping millions of gallons of blood to every corner of your body. It's a marathon runner that never gets a water break, never sees the finish line, and never, ever stops. It powers your every thought, your every movement, your every dream, all without you ever having to consciously ask it to. This isn't just a pump, it's the metronome of your entire existence, setting the rhythm for your life from your first moments to your very last. But the truly mind-bending part isn't just its endurance, but its incredible independence. We think of the brain as the ultimate puppet master, pulling the strings on every muscle in the body. But the heart plays by its own rules. In a fact that sounds like it was ripped straight from a science fiction movie, the human heart can continue to beat even after it's been removed from the body. No, you're not in a horror film. This is real biology at its most astonishing. Unlike your bicep, which needs a direct command from your brain to flex,
The heart has its own built-in electrical system. It's a self-contained power grid run by a tiny cluster of cells called the sinoatrial node, or SA node. This is your body's natural pacemaker. It generates its own electrical impulses, which then ripple through the heart muscle, causing it to contract in that familiar rhythmic way. As long as the heart has a supply of oxygen, which it can get from oxygenated blood or a nutrient solution in a lab, it will just keep on beating, completely disconnected from the central nervous system. It's a profound display of biological autonomy, a testament to the specialized, independent nature of this vital organ. It's almost as if life itself is so deeply encoded into the heart that it refuses to stop, even when its connection to the rest of you is severed. And the sound of that relentless, independent beat, that iconic lub-dub that we associate with life, love, and suspense, well, what you're hearing isn't what you probably think it is. It's a common misconception that the sound is the muscle of the heart physically contracting. But the truth is much more mechanical and, frankly, much cooler. The sound of your heartbeat is actually the noise of your heart valves snapping shut. It's a two-part sound effect created by a beautifully coordinated sequence of closing doors. The first sound, the lub, is the sound of the atrioventricular valves, the mitral and tricuspid valves, closing as the lower chambers, the ventricles, contract to pump blood out. A fraction of a second later, you hear the dub. That's the sound of the semilunar valves, the aortic and pulmonary valves, snapping shut after the blood has been ejected, preventing it from flowing backward. So every time you hear that rhythm, you're listening to 4 tiny, powerful gates slamming shut in perfect synchrony, directing the flow of traffic on the busiest highway in your body. It's not the sound of muscle, but the sound of precision engineering. Speaking of that highway, let's follow the blood that those valves are so expertly directing. Where does it all go? The answer is staggering, and it completely redefines the scale of your own internal universe. If you could somehow take all the arteries, veins, and capillaries out of your body and lay them end to end in a single line, that line of blood vessels would stretch for over 60,000 miles, or nearly 100,000 kilometers. Let that sink in. The circumference of the entire planet Earth is about 25,000 miles. This means the vascular network inside you could circle the globe more than twice. The vast majority of this incredible length isn't in the big, obvious arteries and veins you might think of. It's in the capillaries, the microscopic vessels that are so narrow, blood cells have to line up single file to pass through them. There are billions of them, forming a delicate web-like mesh that ensures no cell in your body is ever more than a hair's breadth away from a vital supply of oxygen and nutrients. You are quite literally a walking, talking roadmap more complex and extensive than any on Earth. Now, let's zoom in on the travelers navigating this immense network. The most famous residents are, of course, the red blood cells, the tiny oxygen couriers that give blood its color. But they are far from ordinary cells. A mature red blood cell is a biconcave disc that has no nucleus. This isn't just a random bit of trivia, it's a masterclass in functional design. The biconcave shape, like a donut that's been filled in but still has a dimple on each side, dramatically increases the cell's surface area, allowing it to absorb and release oxygen more efficiently. But the truly radical design choice is the complete ejection of its nucleus as it matures. By getting rid of the nucleus, which is a cell's largest organelle, it frees up a massive amount of internal space. For what? More hemoglobin, the protein that actually binds to oxygen. This turns the red blood cell into a lean, mean, oxygen-carrying machine. The downside is that without a nucleus, the cell can't repair itself or divide. It's on a one-way trip, working tirelessly for about 120 days before it's retired and recycled in the spleen. Your body is producing about 2 million new ones every single second to replace them. So we have these tiny, specialized, nucleus-free couriers. Given how small they are, just how many are we talking about? The sheer density of life within your blood is almost incomprehensible.
A single, tiny drop of blood contains about 5 million red blood cells. That's not in your whole body. That's in one drop. The population of a major city packed into a space smaller than the head of a pin. And they're not alone in there. Floating alongside them in that same single drop are around 250,000 to 400,000 platelets, the tiny cell fragments responsible for clotting your blood, and about 7,000 white blood cells, the vigilant soldiers of your immune system. Every time you get a paper cut and see that tiny bead of red, you're witnessing an entire bustling metropolis of specialized cells at work, delivering oxygen, preparing for repairs, and fighting off invisible invaders. Your bloodstream isn't a simple river, it's one of the most densely populated environments on the planet. But with all these trillions of cells flowing through us, there's one final, crucial layer of complexity. They might look the same, but not all blood is created equal. Your blood cells wear a specific uniform, a kind of molecular ID badge on their surface made of proteins and sugars called antigens. These antigens are what determine your blood type, and the absence of them makes type O negative blood the universal donor. The ABO blood group system, which you're likely familiar with, is based on whether your red blood cells have A antigens, B antigens, both type AB, or neither type O. Your immune system is trained to attack any antigen it doesn't recognize. This is why giving someone the wrong type of blood can be catastrophic. But type O negative blood is the hero of the story. Because its red blood cells have no A and no B antigens on their surface, they are essentially wearing a stealth uniform. They can be transfused into a person with any other blood type, A, B, AB, or O, without triggering a massive immune system alarm. In a trauma situation where there's no time to test a patient's blood type, O negative is the life-saving go-to. It's the ultimate biological gift, a neutral key that can unlock the door to survival for anyone, flowing through that 60,000-mile highway to deliver its precious cargo of life. But where do these tiny oxygen taxis even pick up that cargo in the first place? That all begins with a single, simple action we do thousands of times a day: taking a breath. And while your brain is the command center coordinating this grand ballet of existence, there's another, wilder world operating inside you right now. A world of acid baths, muscular waves, and microscopic jungles working 24/7. So let's dive headfirst down the rabbit hole, or rather the esophagus, into the churning, gurgling, and absolutely glorious world of your digestive system. Which brings us to a frankly terrifying truth and our 31st amazing fact. Your stomach contains acid so corrosive it can dissolve razor blades. We're not talking about something mildly acidic like lemon juice. We're talking about hydrochloric acid, a chemical you'd find in industrial cleaners and for processing steel. The environment inside your stomach hovers at a pH between 1.5 and 3.5, making it one of the most acidic environments found in nature. If you were to take a drop of this acid and place it on a piece of wood, it would eat right through it. So, how does your stomach not just digest itself into a puddle of goo? That leads directly to our 30-second fact. To protect itself from its own flesh-melting acid, your stomach produces a thick layer of alkaline mucus and completely replaces its entire lining every 3 to 4 days. Think about that. Your body is in a constant state of demolition and reconstruction. Specialized cells secrete a bicarbonate-rich solution that neutralizes the acid right at the surface of the stomach wall, creating a safe zone.
But this defense isn't perfect. The cells still take a beating, so your body just sheds the entire inner layer and builds a brand new one, almost twice a week for your entire life. It's the ultimate self-renovating apartment, constantly laying down new carpet to avoid being dissolved by the living room. Once your food has been churned into a paste called chyme in this acid bath, it needs to move on. But it doesn't just fall through you because of gravity. And this is where we find fact number 33. A process called peristalsis means you can swallow and digest food even if you're hanging upside down. Peristalsis is a series of powerful, wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tract. It's like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom up. These involuntary muscular waves are so strong and so efficient that gravity is irrelevant. So next time you're at an amusement park on a ride that turns you upside down, you could theoretically eat a hot dog. I wouldn't recommend it, but your body could handle it. These waves push the food into a truly remarkable organ. And our 34th amazing fact, if you could stretch out your small intestine, it would be about 22 feet long, or roughly the height of a 2-story building. But here's where it gets really insane. The goal of the small intestine is to absorb nutrients, and to do that, it needs maximum surface area. So its internal surface isn't smooth. It's covered in millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. And each of those villi is covered in even tinier projections called microvilli. This incredible folding and refolding means the total surface area for absorption inside your small intestine is over 2,700 square feet. That's the size of a tennis court packed neatly inside your abdomen. Every meal you eat is processed across an internal landscape the size of a professional sports surface. Now, all this complex machinery isn't just working on its own, it's talking, it's thinking, which leads to our mind-bending 35th fact. Your gut contains a second brain known as the enteric nervous system. This isn't just a metaphor. Embedded in the walls of your gut is a network of over 100 million neurons. That's more neurons that are in your spinal cord or your entire peripheral nervous system. This gut brain can operate independently of your main brain. It manages the complex dance of digestion, but it also produces neurotransmitters. In fact, about 95% of your body's serotonin, the key hormone for stabilizing mood and happiness, is produced in your gut, not your brain. This is the biological basis for gut feelings, or feeling butterflies in your stomach. Your two brains are constantly communicating, meaning your emotional state can affect your digestion, and the health of your gut can profoundly affect your mood. And that second brain isn't alone down there. It's governing a massive, teeming population, bringing us to fact number 36. You are more bacteria than you are human. The number of bacterial cells living in your gut outnumbers your own human cells by a ratio of roughly 1.3 to 1. Scientists estimate you're carrying around 2 to 6 pounds of this gut microbiome. This isn't an invasion. It's a symbiotic relationship. These trillions of microbes help you digest food your body can't. They produce essential vitamins like B12 and K. They regulate your immune system, and they even protect you from harmful pathogens. You are not an individual. You are a walking, talking ecosystem. While the intestines are doing their incredible work, they rely on a master chemist, a silent, underappreciated superhero of an organ. And our 37th fact is that your liver is the only internal organ in your body capable of complete regeneration. It has a superpower that would make a comic book hero jealous. If a person donates a piece of their liver, the remaining part of the donor's liver can grow back to its original size in a matter of weeks. Similarly, the transplanted piece will grow into a full-sized, functioning liver in the recipient. You can lose up to 75% of your liver, and the remaining 25% can regenerate into a whole new one. It is the body's ultimate comeback kid. And it needs that regenerative power because of its absolutely crushing workload.
That brings us to fact number 38. Your liver performs over 500 vital functions, making it the busiest and most versatile organ in your body. We think of it as just a filter, but that's like calling the internet a way to send emails. Your liver produces bile to help you digest fats. It stores vitamins and sugar for energy. It clears your blood of poisons and drugs. It produces cholesterol and proteins to help carry fats. It regulates blood clotting, and it fights infections by removing bacteria from your bloodstream. It is a blood detoxification plant, a nutrient storage warehouse, a metabolic factory, and a security guard, all rolled into one 3-pound package. But let's rewind for a moment, all the way back to the very beginning of this whole process. Before the acid, before the muscular waves, it all starts in your mouth. And our 39th amazing fact is that over your lifetime, you will produce enough saliva to fill 2 swimming pools. Your salivary glands are constantly at work, producing about 1 to 2 liters of spit every single day. This isn't just water. Saliva is a complex fluid that lubricates your food, contains enzymes like amylase that kickstart the digestion of carbohydrates, and has antibacterial properties that help keep your mouth clean. It's the unsung hero that gets the entire food factory up and running. Finally, let's address a sound we're all familiar with, that rumbling, gurgling symphony from your abdomen. And our 40th and final fact for this chapter is that your stomach growls all the time, not just when you're hungry. That sound, technically called borborygmi, is simply the noise of the muscles in your stomach and intestines contracting to mix and push contents through your digestive tract. It happens whether there's food in there or not. The only reason you notice it more when you're hungry is because your stomach is empty. Without any food to muffle the sound, the echoes of those muscular contractions and the sloshing of gas and digestive juices become loud enough for you to hear. It's not a cry for help, it's just the sound of your amazing inner factory hard at work, making sure it's clean and ready for the next shipment. Imagine a skyscraper that completely rebuilds itself beam by beam while people are still living and working inside. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, that exact process is happening inside you right now. We're going deep inside our silent scaffolding, the incredible living architecture of our bones. Let's start with a little bit of biological mathematics. You might think you know how many bones you have, but the answer depends entirely on when you ask. A newborn baby enters the world with a support system of around 300 individual pieces. But as you grow, your body performs a masterful act of biological welding. Many of these smaller, softer bones, which are mostly cartilage, fuse together so that by the time you reach adulthood, you have the well-known 206. This process, called ossification, is why a baby's head has soft spots, or fontanelles. These are gaps between skull plates that allow the brain to grow and help the baby pass through the birth canal. Eventually, these plates harden and fuse into the solid skull we have as adults. The same thing happens in your hands, feet, and pelvis, creating a stronger, more rigid frame capable of supporting your adult weight. You don't lose bones, you consolidate them, trading quantity for superior strength. So we go from around 300 to 206. But what exactly are these consolidated structures made of? It's not just chalky, dead material, not even close. If you tried to build a human skeleton out of concrete, it would crumble under our daily activity. If you made it from steel, it would be far too heavy to move. Nature, as always, found a better way. Your bones are a cutting-edge composite material, a perfect blend of flexibility and strength. About 1/3 of a bone's structure is a protein called collagen, which creates a flexible, fibrous mesh. Think of it like the steel rebar in reinforced concrete. The other 2/3 are primarily a mineral called calcium phosphate, which packs into this collagen mesh, providing hardness and rigidity. This combination is incredible. Ounce for ounce, bone is stronger than steel in resisting compression and has about the same tensile strength as cast iron.
This design allows your bones to absorb impacts without shattering, to bend ever so slightly under pressure, yet remain firm enough to anchor massive muscles. It's a living, lightweight, self-repairing material that engineers are still trying to replicate. And being a living material means it does more than just sit there, much more. In fact, deep within this incredible structure is a hidden factory working 24/7. Forget the idea of bones as just an inert frame. They are dynamic, living organs, and one of their most vital roles is manufacturing life itself. Tucked away inside the hollows of your larger bones, a substance called bone marrow acts as a factory that produces nearly all of your blood cells. This process is called hematopoiesis. The red marrow churns out an astonishing 500 billion blood cells every single day. That includes red blood cells to carry oxygen, white blood cells to fight infection, and platelets to clot your blood. As we age, some of this red marrow is replaced by yellow marrow, which is mostly fat storage, but the red marrow in bones like your pelvis, sternum, and vertebrae keeps working tirelessly for your entire life. Your skeleton isn't just holding you up, it's the very source of the river of life flowing through your veins. This internal factory operates on both a massive and a minuscule scale. Let's zoom in, way in, to a place where sound becomes motion. Deep inside your ear, hidden from view, is the most delicate and diminutive bone in the entire human body. It's called the stapes, and it is the smallest bone in your body. This tiny, stirrup-shaped bone is only about 3 by 2.5 millimeters, roughly the size of a single grain of rice. It's one of 3 tiny bones, the ossicles, that form a chain connecting your eardrum to your inner ear. When sound waves make your eardrum vibrate, this chain of bones acts like a sophisticated lever system, amplifying the vibrations by more than 20 times before passing them on. The stapes is the final link, pushing on the oval window of the cochlea like a tiny piston, translating air vibrations into fluid waves that your brain can interpret as sound. Without this minuscule marvel of biological engineering, your hearing would be dramatically impaired. It's proof that in the human body, the most critical jobs are often handled by the smallest parts. From the impossibly small, let's slingshot to the other end of the spectrum and look at the undisputed giant of your internal architecture. The champion of your skeleton, both in length and strength, is the femur or thigh bone. It is the longest, heaviest, and strongest bone in your body, typically accounting for about a quarter of a person's total height. But its size is secondary to its incredible strength. Thanks to its hollow, cylindrical shape and dense cortical bone, a healthy femur can withstand between 1,800 to 2,500 pounds of compressive force. That's more than a ton. It's stronger than concrete and is one of the most difficult bones in the body to break. This immense strength is essential as the femur supports the entire weight of your upper body and absorbs the massive forces generated by walking, running, and jumping. It is the central pillar of our bipedal locomotion, a testament to evolutionary engineering that allows us to stand tall and move powerfully through the world. So we have the smallest, the largest, and a whole lot in between. But there's one bone that breaks all the rules. It's the lonely rebel of the skeletal system. Every single bone in your body, from your skull down to your toes, is connected to at least one other bone at a joint. All except one. Floating mysteriously in your neck is the hyoid bone, the only bone in the human body that does not articulate with any other bone. This small, U-shaped structure is held in place by a complex web of muscles and ligaments, anchoring the tongue and connecting to the floor of the mouth and the larynx below. This free-floating design is absolutely crucial. It acts as a movable base for the tongue, allowing for the huge range of motion needed for human speech and the mechanics of swallowing. You couldn't talk or eat normally without it. Because of its protected and isolated position, a fractured hyoid is extremely rare, making it a significant indicator for forensic investigators in cases of strangulation. It's the only bone of its kind, a lonely but essential anchor for some of our most human abilities. So our bones are welders, manufacturers, amplifiers, pillars, and anchors.
But their final trick might be the most amazing of all. They are also masters of renewal. Remember that skyscraper that rebuilds itself? That's not just an analogy, it's your reality. Your skeleton is not a permanent structure like the frame of a house. It's in a constant state of flux. Your skeleton is in a constant state of renewal, completely replacing and remodeling itself through a cellular process roughly every 10 years. Specialized cells called osteoclasts dissolve small portions of bone, while cells called osteoblasts move in to build new bone in its place. This isn't a minor tune-up, it's a complete overhaul. Your body recycles 5 to 10% of your bone mass every year, meaning that over the course of about a decade, you essentially have an entirely new skeleton. This process allows your bones to repair microfractures from daily wear and tear, adapt to new stresses, and regulate calcium levels in your blood. You are literally not the same person, skeleton-wise, that you were 10 years ago. It's a silent, lifelong renovation project that keeps your internal framework strong, responsive, and ready for anything. We've explored the intricate wiring of the brain, the body's command center. But how does that command center actually get its information? It does it through a suite of biological sensors so advanced, they make our best technology look primitive. Get ready, because we're about to plug you directly into your own reality matrix. Think your new smartphone camera is impressive with its 48 or 108 megapixels? That's adorable. Our 41st amazing fact is that if you were to translate your eye's resolution into digital terms, it would be the equivalent of a 576 megapixel camera. But even that number doesn't do it justice. Unlike a camera sensor that captures everything uniformly, your eye is a master of efficiency. It has a tiny, high-resolution area called the fovea where you see sharp detail and color, surrounded by a much larger, lower-resolution area that's brilliant at detecting motion. Your brain then stitches this information together, moving your eye several times a second without you even noticing, to create a seamless, high-definition panorama of the world. It's also a master of data compression. Your retina processes and compresses visual data before it even sends signals to your brain. Oh, and here's a little secret. You are partially blind. There's a spot in each eye where the optic nerve connects to the retina, creating a total lack of photoreceptors. It's a literal blind spot. You've never noticed it, have you? That's because your brain cleverly takes information from the other eye and the surrounding area to just fill in the gap. It's constantly lying to you to create a perfect picture. From the light that paints our world, let's tune in to the vibrations that fill it. Your sense of hearing is a marvel of mechanical engineering, and our 42nd fact focuses on its tiniest, most crucial component. Tucked away in your middle ear is the smallest bone in your entire body, the stapes. It's about the size of a single grain of rice, and it's the final piece in a tiny 3-bone lever system that amplifies sound vibrations from your eardrum and transmits them to the fluid-filled inner ear. This delicate system allows you to hear everything from the faintest whisper to a thundering jet engine. But your hearing isn't just a passive microphone. Your brain is an expert sound editor. It performs an incredible feat known as the cocktail party effect. This is your brain's uncanny ability to focus its auditory attention on a particular stimulus while filtering out a range of other noises. It's how you can listen to a friend's story in a loud, crowded room, effectively muting the conversations and clatter around you. Your brain isn't just hearing, it's actively listening.
But sound isn't the only invisible force that shapes our experience. What about the ghost of a scent that can transport you back decades in an instant? For a long time, it was believed that humans were olfactory weaklings compared to animals like dogs. Our 43rd fact shatters that myth completely. Research now suggests that the human nose can distinguish between at least 1 trillion different scents. That's not a typo. 1 trillion. But what makes smell so uniquely powerful, so emotionally resonant? It's all about location. Your olfactory bulb, the part of your brain that processes smells, has a direct superhighway-like connection to the limbic system. This system includes the amygdala, your brain's emotion center, and the hippocampus, your memory hub. Other senses, like sight and touch, take a more scenic route through other brain regions first. Smell gets a VIP pass straight to the core of your memories and feelings. That's why the scent of fresh-cut grass or an old book can trigger such a vivid, potent memory that feels like you're living it all over again. And that powerful sense of smell is actually the secret ingredient to another sense we often take for granted, which brings us to our 44th mind-bending fact. What you think of as taste is actually about 80% smell. Your taste buds are only responsible for identifying 5 basic categories: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and the savory taste known as umami. Every other nuance, the difference between a cherry and a raspberry, or between coffee and dark chocolate, is not taste at all. It's aroma. Molecules from the food waft up the back of your throat to your nasal cavity, where your olfactory receptors identify them. This is why food seems so bland and boring when you have a cold. Your stuffed nose is blocking the aroma, leaving your taste buds with only the basic building blocks. And speaking of taste buds, you might remember learning about a tongue map in school, with sweet on the tip and bitter at the back. Well, that's a complete myth. All of your taste buds, which regenerate every 10 to 14 days, can detect all 5 tastes, no matter where they are on your tongue. But our experience of the world isn't just sights, sounds, and flavors. It's also profoundly physical, a constant conversation between our bodies and our environment. This brings us to the complex world of touch for fact number 45. Your skin isn't just a simple wrapper. It's a vast, intelligent sensory organ packed with a diverse army of nerve endings. You have specialized receptors for light pressure, deep pressure, vibration, skin stretch, pain, and temperature. What's truly fascinating is how unevenly these receptors are distributed. Your fingertips, lips, and tongue are packed with an incredible density of touch receptors, making them exquisitely sensitive. Your back, by contrast, has far fewer. You can try this. Have a friend gently poke you in the back with 2 pencil points very close together. You'll likely only feel it as a single point. But on your fingertip, you could easily distinguish the 2 separate points. This is why a tiny paper cut on your finger feels so dramatic, while you might not even notice a scrape on your back. Your brain dedicates a disproportionate amount of processing power to these high-resolution areas, creating a sensory map of your body that is wonderfully and practically distorted. We've covered the big 5, the rock stars of the sensory world. But what if I told you they have a whole crew of hidden backup singers you use every single second without even knowing it? For our 46th fact, we're expanding the definition of a sense. Meet proprioception. This is your body's sense of its own position in space. Close your eyes right now and touch your finger to the tip of your nose. How did you do that without looking? That was proprioception. Receptors in your muscles and joints are constantly feeding information to your brain about your posture and movement. Then there's equilibrioception, your sense of balance. This is governed by the vestibular system, a set of tiny, fluid-filled canals in your inner ear that detect motion and your head's orientation relative to gravity.
These are just two of a host of other senses, like thermoception, sensing temperature, and nociception, the specific sense of pain, that prove the classic five senses model is just the beginning of the story. These hidden senses prove our perception is more complex than we realize. But for some people, that complexity goes into overdrive, creating a reality that sounds like it's straight out of a science fiction movie. Our 47th fact is about a fascinating neurological condition called synesthesia. This is when the stimulation of one sensory pathway leads to an automatic, involuntary experience in a second, unrelated pathway. Essentially, the senses get their wires crossed. What does this feel like? For someone with grapheme color synesthesia, the most common form, letters and numbers are perceived as being inherently colored. The number 7 might always be yellow, and the letter A might always be a deep shade of red. For others, it's even more abstract. Some people experience sounds as colors or shapes. Others can taste words. Imagine hearing the name Derek and experiencing the distinct taste of earwax, a real example from a study. This isn't a memory or an association. It's a genuine, consistent, and automatic perceptual reality. It's a stunning reminder that the world we each experience is built entirely within the unique architecture of our own minds. All right, we've explored the superhighways of your circulatory system and the fortresses of your bones. But now we're going deeper, much, much deeper. We're about to shrink down past the skin, past the muscle, past everything you can see, into a world that is so impossibly small and yet so mind-bogglingly vast it powers your entire existence. If you thought your body was a universe, you were right. Because you are not just one being, you are a bustling, thriving, walking civilization. And our 48th incredible fact is about the size of that civilization. Your body is home to an estimated 37 trillion of your own human cells. That's 37 million. It's a number so large our brains can barely process it. To put it in perspective, there are about 400 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy. That means you have nearly 100 times more cells in your body than there are stars in our entire galaxy. Every single one of them is a microscopic machine working in perfect concert. And what's even crazier, your human cells are actually outnumbered. You're also playing host to another 40 trillion or so bacterial cells, living mostly in your gut, that are essential for your survival. You aren't just a person, you're a planet teeming with life. So what's running this massive 37 trillion cell metropolis? Every city needs a blueprint, a central command, an instruction manual for everything. And inside the nucleus of almost every single one of those cells is that manual, your DNA. This leads us to our 49th mind-bending fact. If you were to take the DNA from just one single cell and stretch it out, it would be about 2 meters, or 6 feet long. It's coiled and packed with incredible efficiency to fit inside a space just 6 microns wide. But here's where it gets truly astronomical. If you could take all the DNA from all of your trillions of cells and string it together, end to end, that single, impossibly thin thread would stretch from the Sun to Pluto and back. Some estimates say it would reach even further. Think about that. A biological library containing every instruction to build and run you is long enough to span the solar system multiple times over. It's all coiled up inside you right now. Having a blueprint that long is one thing, but it's useless if the city can't communicate. Messages have to be sent instantly. Which brings us to our 50th fact, the astonishing speed of your internal information highway. The instructions coded in your DNA are carried out by nerve cells or neurons, which send electrical impulses throughout your body. These signals don't just meander, they fly.
A nerve impulse can travel at speeds of up to 120 meters per second, which is over 268 miles per hour. That's faster than a Formula One race car at full throttle.
When you touch a hot stove, the signal from your finger to your brain and back to your hand to pull away happens in a fraction of the time it takes you to even consciously register the word hot. It's a microscopic network of biological wiring that operates at the speed of a supercar, ensuring your 37 trillion cell civilization runs without a single critical delay.
This incredible speed and coordination is essential for survival. But sometimes, the most important command a cell can receive isn't to live faster, but to die on schedule. And this reveals our 51st and perhaps most poetic fact about the body. Your cells are programmed to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. The process is called apoptosis, or programmed cell death.
It's a clean, orderly self-destruct sequence. Think of it as a cell tidying up its own workspace before quietly turning out the lights. This isn't a flaw, it's a fundamental feature. It's how your body sculpts itself. When you were an embryo, your hands and feet were webbed like little paddles. Apoptosis is the process that commanded the cells in that webbing to die, carving out your individual fingers and toes. It happens billions of times a day, eliminating old, damaged, or potentially cancerous cells before they can cause harm. Your body is constantly pruning itself, making way for the new, in a quiet, microscopic ballet of life and death that keeps the entire organism healthy. But within this system of perfectly programmed cells, there's a strange and ancient ghost in the machine. A tiny titan living inside your cells that operates by its own set of rules. For our 52nd fact, we need to look at the mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. They generate almost all of your body's energy. But here's the unbelievable part. Mitochondria have their own, completely separate DNA. This mitochondrial DNA, or mDNA, is distinct from the main DNA in your cell's nucleus. And stranger still, you only inherit it from one parent, your mother. Your father's mitochondrial DNA is actively destroyed during fertilization. Scientists believe this is evidence of a deal struck over 1 billion years ago when a simple cell engulfed an ancient bacterium. Instead of being digested, that bacterium started producing energy for its host, and they've lived in symbiosis ever since. You have an ancient life form living inside nearly every cell in your body, with its own unique genetic code passed down through a purely maternal line for eons. This constant dance of creation, sacrifice, and ancient partnerships means your body is never static. It's in a perpetual state of renovation. Which leads us to our 53rd astounding fact. You are constantly becoming a new person, literally. The rate of cell turnover in your body is staggering. Your stomach lining, for instance, replaces itself completely every 3 to 4 days to cope with the harsh, acidic environment. The outermost layer of your skin is completely shed and replaced every 2 to 4 weeks. You grow a whole new epidermis about once a month. Your red blood cells have a lifespan of about 120 days before being recycled. While some cells, like most of your neurons and the cells in the lens of your eye, last your entire lifetime, many parts of you are significantly younger than your chronological age. The person you are today, on a cellular level, is not the exact same person you were 7 years ago. You are a living, breathing, constantly regenerating masterpiece. And perhaps the greatest miracle of all is how this regeneration even knows what to do. How does one type of cell know to become skin, and another know to become a part of your liver? This brings us to our 54th and final fact for this deep dive, the sheer genius of cellular specialization. Every single one of the over 200 different types of cells in your body, from the long, spindly neurons that form your thoughts, to the biconcave discs of red blood cells that carry oxygen, to the powerful muscle cells that let you move, all originated from a single fertilized egg. That one cell contained the complete DNA blueprint. As it divided and multiplied, different cells began to read different chapters of that same book. They turned certain genes on and others off, a process called differentiation. This is how you get a cell that becomes part of your eyeball and another that becomes a taste bud on your tongue, all from the exact same starting instruction manual. It's the ultimate microscopic miracle. From one comes the beautiful, intricate, and specialized complexity of you. From the intricate dance of electrical impulses in our brain to the powerful, rhythmic beat of our hearts, we've explored the hidden world within. But now we're surfacing. We're heading to the border between you and the rest of the universe, a living, breathing shield that is so much more than it appears. And this brings us to fact number 56. Your skin is, by a huge margin, your body's largest organ. We tend to think of organs as being tucked away safely inside us, the liver, the kidneys, the lungs. But the skin qualifies in every way. For the average adult, it weighs around 8 pounds and stretches to cover an incredible 22 square feet. That's about the size of a twin-size bed mattress. It's not just a passive wrapper, it's a dynamic, functional organ system that's our first point of contact with everything. And this massive organ is in a constant, remarkable state of transformation. Which leads to fact 57. Your skin completely renews itself about once every 28 days. Deep down in the lower layer of your epidermis, new skin cells are constantly being born. They then begin a slow, upward journey, pushing the older cells ahead of them. By the time they reach the surface, they are essentially dead, forming a tough, protective layer. Then they flake off, making way for the fresh layer underneath. This means the face you see in the mirror today is, on a cellular level, almost completely different from the one you saw a month ago. You are in a perpetual state of regeneration, shedding your old self to make way for the new. So where do all those billions of shed skin cells actually go? Well, if you're a bit squeamish, brace yourself, because fact number 58 is that a significant portion of the dust in your home is made of your own dead skin. It sounds like something from a horror movie, but it's true. Scientists estimate that dead skin flakes can make up as much as 50% of household dust. Every time you sit on the couch, pull on a sweater, or even just walk across a room, you're releasing a microscopic cloud of your former self into the air. And to make it even more bizarre, this is the primary food source for trillions of tiny creatures called dust mites. You're not just living in your house, you're literally blanketing it with yourself, feeding an unseen ecosystem. But your skin is far more than just a self-replacing, dust-producing barrier. It's an intelligent, active fortress. This is where we find fact number 59. Your skin has its own specialized immune system. We think of our immune system as white blood cells rushing through our bloodstream, but the skin has its own frontline soldiers. Dotted throughout the epidermis are highly specialized cells called Langerhans cells. These are like elite sentinels patrolling the border wall of your body. When they detect an intruder, like a harmful bacteria, virus, or other pathogen, they don't just fight it. They actually capture a piece of the invader, travel to the nearest lymph node, and present it to the rest of the immune system, essentially saying, "This is the enemy, prepare the reinforcements." Your skin isn't just a wall, it's a watchtower with an alarm system connected to the entire kingdom. This active intelligence extends from defense to how we perceive the world. And for fact number 60, let's zoom in on your fingertips. Those unique whorls and ridges we call fingerprints do more than just provide grip. They are actually sophisticated sensory amplifiers. When you drag your fingertip across a surface, those tiny ridges vibrate at different frequencies depending on the texture. These vibrations are channeled down into the skin where highly sensitive nerve endings called Pacinian corpuscles pick them up. Your brain then decodes these vibration signals into the rich sensation of texture, the smoothness of glass, the roughness of sandpaper. Your fingerprints are essentially a biological hi-fi system, turning physical contact into high-definition sensory information. From the textures we feel to the very appearance of our skin, it's a canvas of complex biology. This brings us to fact 61. The color of your skin is produced by a pigment called melanin, which is your body's own brand of natural internal sunscreen. Specialized cells called melanocytes produce melanin when exposed to ultraviolet light from the sun. This melanin acts like a microscopic shield, forming a protective cap around the nucleus of your skin cells to absorb harmful UV radiation before it can damage your DNA. A suntan isn't just a cosmetic change, it's a visible defense mechanism. It's your body literally creating a shield to protect itself from radiation from a star 93 million miles away. Our skin's reaction to the sun makes perfect sense, but what about its stranger, more primal reactions? That brings us to fact 62. Goosebumps are a fascinating evolutionary leftover from our much hairier ancestors. That prickly sensation you get when you're cold or scared is caused by tiny muscles called erector pili, each one attached to an individual hair follicle. When these muscles contract, they pull the hair so it stands on end. For an animal covered in thick fur, this action is incredibly useful. It traps a layer of air close to the skin, creating a natural layer of insulation against the cold. It also makes the animal appear larger and more intimidating to a predator. For us, relatively hairless humans, it does neither of those things. It's a vestigial reflex, a ghost of an ancient survival mechanism, still firing away in our modern bodies. While we may have lost that thick coat of fur, our skin is anything but barren. In fact, it's one of the most densely populated habitats on Earth. That's because, for fact 63, your skin is home to a vast and complex microbiome, a bustling metropolis of over 1,000 different species of bacteria and other microorganisms. There are more microbes living on your skin right now than there are humans on the entire planet. And far from being dirty or dangerous, this microbial ecosystem is essential for your health. These good bacteria help to train your immune system, produce natural antibiotics to fight off harmful pathogens, and maintain your skin's pH balance. Your skin isn't just you. It's a vibrant, living world that you carry with you everywhere you go. This living ecosystem works in perfect harmony with the skin's own remarkable engineering, especially when it comes to one of our most critical survival functions. For our final fact in this section, number 64, your skin is your body's master thermostat. It uses an ingenious two-part system to keep your internal temperature within the narrow range needed for survival. When you get too hot, two things happen. Your sweat glands release sweat, which cools you down as it evaporates, and the blood vessels near the surface of your skin dilate or widen, allowing more blood to flow close to the surface and radiate heat away. When you get cold, the opposite occurs. Your blood vessels constrict, pulling blood away from the surface to conserve heat for your vital organs. It's a beautifully precise and automatic climate control system, constantly adjusting to keep you perfectly balanced, no matter the world outside. From an intelligent shield to a living ecosystem, our skin is the unsung hero of our biology. And from the outer layer that holds us together, we're next going to journey to the very framework that holds us up. Scene start. Have you ever felt that sudden, dizzying rush when you lock eyes with someone across a room? That heart-hammering, palm-sweating, world-stop-spinning moment? Or what about the ice-cold dread that floods your veins when you hear a strange noise in your house at night? You might think those feelings are just you, your thoughts, your emotions. But in reality, you're a puppet, and your body is being flooded by a team of invisible, microscopic chemical commandos. Welcome to the insane, invisible world of your hormones.
These chemical messengers are the secret government of your body, issuing executive orders that can make you a hero, a lover, or a nervous wreck in a fraction of a second.
And their most famous field agent is undoubtedly adrenaline. We've all heard of the adrenaline rush, but the sheer power it unlocks is pure science fiction. Under extreme stress, a surge of adrenaline can trigger a phenomenon known as hysterical strength, allowing you to bypass your normal muscular limits. Stories of people lifting cars off trapped loved ones aren't just myths, they're testaments to this hormonal superpower. Your pupils dilate to take in more light, your airways expand to suck in more oxygen, and blood is shunted away from non-essential functions like digestion and sent directly to your muscles. It's your body's break glass in case of emergency system, turning you into a temporary superhero. This isn't just a little boost, it's a complete physiological override prioritizing survival above absolutely everything else. But what happens after the car is lifted or the danger has passed? That's when adrenaline's partner, cortisol, steps in. If adrenaline is the sprinting secret agent, cortisol is the cleanup crew and long-term surveillance expert. It's famously known as the stress hormone, and it's designed to keep you on high alert after an initial threat. In the short term, it's a lifesaver. It reduces inflammation, regulates your blood pressure, and manages how your body uses carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. But here's the twist. In our modern world, the threats aren't saber-toothed tigers. They're traffic jams, work deadlines, and social media arguments. Your body can't tell the difference, so it keeps pumping out cortisol. Chronic exposure turns this helpful agent into a double agent, actively sabotaging your health by suppressing your immune system, increasing blood pressure, and contributing to anxiety and weight gain. Your ancient survival mechanism is literally getting stressed out by your Wi-Fi cutting out. Now, not all of these chemical commandos are built for chaos and panic. Some are master diplomats, responsible for forging our most powerful connections. Meet oxytocin, often nicknamed the love hormone or cuddle chemical. This remarkable molecule is the invisible glue that bonds us together. It surges in new mothers to promote bonding with their infants, and is the reason skin-to-skin contact feels so profoundly comforting. It's released during hugs, hand-holding, and moments of intimacy, fostering feelings of trust and empathy. But oxytocin isn't just about romance and babies. It's a key player in all social bonding, from friendship to team loyalty. When you feel a deep sense of connection with your friends, that's oxytocin working its magic, lowering your social inhibitions and making you more generous and trusting. It's the biological reason why a simple hug can genuinely make a bad day feel better. It's proof that our need for connection isn't just a feeling, it's a biological imperative, hardwired into our very chemistry. From the hormones that manage our social lives, we move to the one that tucks us into bed at night, melatonin. This is your body's own personal sandman, a hormone produced by the tiny, pinecone-shaped pineal gland deep within your brain. Its entire job is dictated by light. When your eyes detect darkness, the pineal gland gets the signal to start releasing melatonin into your bloodstream, making you feel drowsy and ready for sleep. It's the conductor of your circadian rhythm, the 24-hour internal clock that governs your sleep-wake cycle. Here's the modern problem. Your brain can't distinguish between the fading light of sunset and the bright blue light blasting from your phone, tablet, or laptop. Staring at screens late at night tricks your pineal gland into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin production and throwing your entire sleep schedule into disarray. That feeling of being tired but wired is often your body fighting a battle between physical exhaustion and a hormonally confused brain. So we have hormones for emergencies, for stress, for love, and for sleep. But just how big is this chemical army? The answer is staggering. Your body is regulated by more than 50 different known hormones, all produced by the various glands of the endocrine system. And overseeing this vast network is one tiny, pea-sized structure at the base of your brain called the pituitary gland. It's often called the master gland for a reason. It's the five-star general of your endocrine system, taking orders from the brain and then releasing its own hormones that travel to other glands, like the thyroid, adrenals, and reproductive organs, telling them what to do and how much of their own hormones to produce. It controls growth, blood pressure, metabolism, and sex organ functions. This tiny, unassuming speck of tissue is the central command from which nearly all of your body's long-term projects are managed, a testament to the incredible efficiency and complexity packed into every corner of your anatomy. With a system this complex, internal conflicts are inevitable. And nowhere is the battle more fierce than in the war for your appetite, fought daily between two opposing hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Think of ghrelin as the go hormone. It's produced primarily in your stomach, and when your stomach is empty, it sends loud, clear signals to your brain that scream, "I'm hungry, feed me." It's the reason your stomach rumbles and you suddenly can't think about anything other than food. On the other side is leptin, the stop hormone. Leptin is produced by your fat cells, and its job is to signal to the brain that you have enough energy stored and you can stop eating. In a perfect world, these two would work in a beautiful, balanced harmony. But factors like sleep deprivation can cause ghrelin levels to skyrocket while suppressing leptin, making you feel ravenously hungry even when your body doesn't need the calories. It's a chemical civil war happening inside you every single day. Now for one final mind-bending twist in the hormonal saga, one that completely blurs the lines of what we think we know about male and female biology. We tend to associate estrogen with women and testosterone with men, but the truth is everyone has both. And here is the truly wild part. During a woman's monthly cycle, there are specific times, particularly right before ovulation, when her estrogen levels are relatively low. During this window, it is entirely possible for her male partner to have higher levels of circulating estrogen in his body than she does. Men naturally produce estrogen. It's vital for modulating libido, erectile function, and sperm production. And since their levels are more stable, they can easily surpass a woman's at her lowest point. It's a perfect example of how our bodies aren't simple binary machines, but incredibly complex and fluid chemical factories, always working to maintain a delicate and often surprising balance. Every single second of every day, a war is being waged inside you. It's a conflict on a microscopic scale, with trillions of combatants, sophisticated spy networks, and devastating weapons. You are the battlefield, and the survival of your entire nation-state, your body, depends on the outcome. This is the story of your immune system, the most advanced, intelligent, and relentless fighting force in the known universe. It has to be because the enemy never, ever stops. So how does this invisible army actually fight? Well, your body doesn't just have one defensive strategy. Fact number 74, it has a brilliant two-pronged military attack, the innate and the adaptive immune systems. Think of the innate system as the first responders. They're the city guards, the patrolmen on the beat. They are incredibly fast, but not very specific. When a pathogen, a bacteria or virus, breaches your first line of defense, like your skin, the innate system sounds the alarm. Cells like neutrophils and macrophages rush to the scene, essentially eating any foreign invaders they see. They don't need to know the enemy's name or its specific plan. If it doesn't have the right ID badge saying it belongs in your body, it gets neutralized. This is what causes inflammation. That redness and swelling is literally the sign of a microscopic battle. But this brute force approach can be overwhelmed. That's when the call goes out to the special forces, the adaptive immune system. This branch is slower to respond, taking days to mobilize, but it is devastatingly precise. It designs custom-made weapons for one specific enemy, and one enemy only. And perhaps its most incredible ability is that it never, ever forgets. This brings us to one of the most elegant features of human biology. Fact number 75, your immune system possesses a biological memory that can last a lifetime. After the adaptive system's special forces, the B cells and T cells, have defeated a specific pathogen, some of these cells transform into memory cells. They are veterans of that specific war. They patrol your body for years, sometimes for the rest of your life, carrying a perfect memory of that one enemy. It's like having a most wanted poster for every criminal you've ever locked up. If that same virus or bacteria ever dares to show its face again, even decades later, these memory cells immediately recognize it. They don't need to wait for orders or spend days building new weapons. They launch an immediate, overwhelming counterattack that is so fast and so powerful, the invader is wiped out before you even feel a single symptom. This is the exact principle behind how vaccines work. They show your immune system a mugshot of the enemy without you having to get sick, allowing you to build that army of memory cells in advance. It's why you only get chickenpox once. Your body has already seen that enemy, and it will not be fooled again. And while these memory cells are brilliant strategists, sometimes the body needs to change the entire battlefield to gain an advantage. It needs to turn up the heat, literally. You've probably always thought of a fever as a miserable symptom of being sick, but fact number 76, a fever is not a side effect of an illness. It's a powerful weapon actively deployed by your immune system. When your body detects a widespread invasion, it releases chemicals called pyrogens that travel to your brain's thermostat, the hypothalamus, and tell it to crank up the body's core temperature. Why? It's a calculated military strategy. Many bacteria and viruses are optimized to reproduce at our normal body temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. By raising it just a few degrees, you create a hostile environment where they struggle to multiply. It's like trying to run an engine when it's overheating. But it gets better. This higher temperature also kicks your own immune cells into overdrive, making them faster, more aggressive, and more effective at hunting down and destroying the invaders. So while it feels awful, a fever is your body intentionally putting itself through discomfort to give its army a tactical advantage. But where does this incredibly complex army train? Where do all these specialized cells learn to tell friend from foe? You might think the main headquarters is in the bloodstream or the bone marrow, but unbelievably, fact #77, the vast majority of your immune system, around 70 to 80%, resides in your gut. It seems bizarre, but it makes perfect sense. Your digestive tract is one of the main interfaces between you and the outside world. Everything you eat and drink is teeming with foreign materials and potential invaders. To handle this constant exposure, the walls of your intestines are lined with a massive network of immune tissue called gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or GALT. This is the single largest mass of immune cells in your entire body. It's a bustling boot camp where new immune cells are constantly being trained and educated by the trillions of good bacteria that live there. Your gut microbiome essentially shows your immune system what's friendly and what's a threat, helping it calibrate its response so it doesn't overreact to harmless food particles or underreact to a dangerous pathogen. A healthy gut is, quite literally, the foundation of a strong army. And if the gut is the main training ground, every good army needs a well-stocked barracks and a strategic reserve. For your body, that's your spleen. We don't often think about the spleen, but fact number 78, your spleen acts as a massive blood filter and an emergency reserve barracks for a huge army of immune cells. Think of it as your body's intelligent filtration plant and military base rolled into one. Every minute, a significant portion of your blood flows through the spleen's dense network of passages. There, special immune cells called macrophages act as quality control, identifying and ripping old, damaged red blood cells out of circulation to be recycled.
At the same time, it filters the blood for any pathogens that might be hiding there. But here's the coolest part. A 2009 study found that the spleen holds a massive reserve force of monocytes, a type of elite immune cell. They just sit there, waiting.
In the event of a major injury or infection elsewhere in the body, like a heart attack, the spleen can immediately deploy this huge reserve army, flooding the bloodstream with reinforcements that race to the site of the crisis. It's a rapid deployment force that can turn the tide of a battle in an instant. But not all defenses are so intricate and cellular. Some are brilliantly simple, brutally effective, and shockingly powerful. We're talking about the biological equivalent of a cannon. You might think a sneeze is just a minor annoyance, but fact number 79, a sneeze is an explosive act of biological warfare, capable of expelling air and particles at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. When irritants like dust, pollen, or viruses tickle the nerve endings inside your nasal passages, a signal flashes to your brainstem. The response is an involuntary and incredibly forceful reflex. You take a deep breath, your throat closes, and immense pressure builds up in your lungs. Then, in a violent burst, that pressure is released. This blast of air, mucus, and saliva can launch tens of thousands of droplets, some microscopic, as far as 30 feet away. It's the body's ultimate way of physically ejecting unwanted invaders from the upper respiratory tract with pure, unadulterated force. It's not elegant, but it is an astonishingly effective way to clear the gates. This incredible power to identify, remember, and violently expel an enemy is a marvel of evolution. But the system is so powerful and so complex that its targeting has to be perfect. What happens when it isn't? What happens when the soldiers can no longer tell the difference between an invader and one of your own healthy cells? The result is devastating. Fact Haft 80. In autoimmune diseases, the immune system's immense power is turned against itself, leading to a state of biological civil war. For reasons we're still trying to fully understand, the system's targeting mechanism can fail. Its ability to recognize self gets scrambled. T cells and antibodies, weapons designed to kill foreign invaders, might start attacking healthy joints, causing rheumatoid arthritis. They might attack the insulating sheaths of nerves, causing multiple sclerosis, or attack organs throughout the body, as in lupus. It's a tragic case of friendly fire on a massive scale, where the body's greatest protector becomes its own worst enemy, highlighting the terrifyingly fine line between defense and destruction that this system walks every single day. Upbeat, curious music, and then fades slightly into the background. What if I told you that you are not physically the same person you were a decade ago? I don't mean in a philosophical sense, I mean literally. The very bones that provide your structure, the skeleton you think of as this permanent, solid frame, is an imposter. Because fact number 74, your entire skeleton completely replaces itself roughly every 10 years. This isn't like a snake shedding its skin all at once. It's a constant, microscopic, and breathtakingly elegant construction project. You have two types of specialized cells orchestrating this dance. First, you have the demolition crew, called osteoclasts, which travel through your bones, dissolving old, tired bone tissue and clearing it away. Hot on their heels is the construction crew, the osteoblasts, which come in and lay down new, strong, flexible bone matrix. This process, called remodeling, means the femur you're standing on right now is a different femur than the one you had in high school. It's how your bones heal from fractures, adapt to stress from exercise, and regulate calcium levels in your blood. You are in a perpetual state of being rebuilt from the inside out, a living sculpture that is never quite finished. But as incredible as it is to replace your entire skeleton over a decade, there's one organ in your body that puts that timeline to absolute shame, performing a feat of regeneration that baffled ancient civilizations. The ancient Greeks told the story of Prometheus, whose liver was eaten by an eagle every day, only to grow back overnight. They were surprisingly close to the truth. Because fact number 75, the liver has a truly astounding capacity for regeneration. It can regrow to its full size even after as much as 75% of it has been removed. This isn't just healing, it's a complete architectural rebuild. If a person donates a part of their liver for a transplant, the remaining portion in the donor will begin to regenerate almost immediately, often returning to its original size within just a few weeks. The cells, called hepatocytes, enter a state of rapid division, perfectly replicating the complex structure of loads, blood vessels, and bile ducts. It's the only internal organ in the human body that can do this. While your bones take 10 years for a full-scale renovation, your liver can rebuild itself from near catastrophic loss in the time it takes to get through a season of your favorite show. Regrowing an entire organ sounds like something out of science fiction, but what about regrowing a piece of yourself that you can actually see? I'm not talking about healing a simple cut. I'm talking about regenerating a complex, multi-tissue body part. And while we can't regrow a whole arm like a salamander, there is a very specific circumstance where humans can perform a similar miracle. Get ready for fact number 76. Young children can actually regrow the tip of a severed finger. If a child accidentally loses the tip of their finger in an accident, as long as the injury is above the nail bed's final crease and a tiny bit of the nail and its underlying structure remains, the fingertip can grow back. And we're not just talking about a stub of skin. It will regrow the bone, the nerve endings, the skin, and even a perfectly matching fingerprints and nail. Doctors discovered this by accident when they realized that stitching the wound shut actually prevented this natural regeneration. The current best practice is often just to clean the wound and let the body's innate, mysterious blueprint for growth take over. It's a superpower we seem to lose as we get older, a tantalizing glimpse of a regenerative potential hidden deep within our DNA. But for most injuries, especially as we age, our body doesn't opt for that kind of perfect, scar-free regeneration. It goes for the quick and dirty, but incredibly effective fix. It slaps on a patch. We call them scars. And while you might see a scar as a flaw, it is actually a testament to your body's brilliant crisis management, which brings us to fact number 77. Scar tissue is fundamentally different from the tissue it replaces, and it's a masterclass in biological compromise. When you get a deep cut, your body's priority isn't to perfectly recreate the intricate lattice of normal skin. Its priority is to close the breach fast to prevent infection and blood loss. So it deploys collagen, but instead of weaving it in that nice, random basket weave pattern of healthy skin, it lays it down in a single direction. This makes the new tissue incredibly strong and fast to produce, but it comes at a cost. Scar tissue has no hair follicles, no oil glands, and no sweat glands. That's why scars can't tan, don't grow hair, and feel different to the touch. It's a permanent patch, a biological shortcut that prioritizes survival over cosmetic perfection. Every scar on your body is a story of a battle your body won. This process of patching and replacing isn't just for emergencies, though. It's happening right now, constantly, all over your body, on a scale that's almost impossible to comprehend. And fact number 78 reveals that you are in a constant state of cellular turnover, essentially becoming a new person every few years. The cells lining your stomach, which have to withstand a brutal acid bath, are completely replaced every 3 to 5 days. The outermost layer of your skin, the epidermis, is completely shed and replaced every 2 to 4 weeks. The vast majority of the dust in your home? It's your old skin.
Your red blood cells work tirelessly for about 120 days before being retired and replaced. While some crucial cells, like the neurons in your cerebral cortex, are with you for life, most of you is in a state of continuous flux. The atoms that make up your body today are not the same atoms from a year ago. You are less a solid object and more a flowing river, constantly replenishing and remaking yourself from the inside out. But the body's most profound magic trick, the most mind-bending act of repair and influence, might not involve collagen or osteoblasts at all. It might just be all in your head, and yet have very real physical consequences. This is the unbelievable power of belief. Fact number 79 is about the placebo effect, which is not just imagining you feel better, but a documented phenomenon where your brain can create real physiological healing simply because it believes it will happen. In clinical trials, patients given a sugar pill, a placebo, they believe is a powerful drug, often reports significant symptom relief, but it goes deeper. Brain scans show that these placebos can trigger the release of your body's own natural painkillers, the endorphins. They can reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and even ease symptoms of Parkinson's disease by prompting the brain to release dopamine. The simple act of believing in a treatment, of participating in a ritual of healing, can activate what is essentially your brain's internal pharmacy, dispensing the exact chemical compounds needed to make you feel better. It is undeniable proof that the connection between mind and body isn't just a vague concept, it's a powerful biological force capable of orchestrating genuine healing. And this internal dance of growth, repair, and adaptation isn't always dramatic or life-altering. Sometimes it's so subtle and routine that you experience it every single day without a second thought. It happens between the moment you go to bed and the moment you wake up. For our final fact in this chapter, fact number 80, you are measurably taller in the morning than you are in the evening. Throughout the day, as you stand, walk, and sit, gravity exerts a constant downward pressure on your body. This pressure gently squeezes the fluid out of the soft cartilage discs that sit between your vertebrae, causing them to compress slightly. Over the course of the day, this tiny compression in each disc adds up, and you can be up to a full centimeter or nearly half an inch shorter by the time you go to bed. Then, when you lie down to sleep, the pressure is off. Your spinal discs have a chance to reabsorb fluid and expand back to their original size. You wake up in the morning refreshed, recharged, and just a little bit taller, ready for gravity to start the whole process over again. It's a perfect, simple example of the dynamic, ever-changing nature of the human body. We've seen how our bodies perform incredible feats of engineering and biology every second. But our story doesn't end with the things we understand. The human body is also a museum of evolutionary leftovers, a collection of bizarre reflexes and unexplained phenomena that remind us we're still a work in progress. It's time to explore the beautiful, baffling glitches in the human machine. For instance, have you ever been listening to a powerful piece of music or felt a sudden chill and noticed the skin on your arms prickle up into tiny bumps? That's fact 83. Goosebumps are a completely useless evolutionary reflex. Each of those little bumps is caused by a minuscule muscle, the erector pili, contracting and pulling a hair follicle so it stands on end. For our ancient, much hairier ancestors, this served two purposes. It trapped a layer of air to provide insulation against the cold, and it fluffed up their fur to make them look bigger and more intimidating to predators. For us, with our relatively sparse body hair, it does absolutely nothing. It's a phantom echo from a time when survival depended on looking just a little bit scarier than the thing in the bushes. It's your body trying to roar, but all it can manage is a whisper on your skin.
Speaking of involuntary, ancient reactions, what about one you've probably done at least once today? You see someone else do it, and suddenly you can't resist. That's right. Fact 84 is that contagious yawning is a very real and very mysterious sign of empathy. While we also yawn when we're tired or bored to draw in more oxygen and cool the brain, the reason we catch yawns from others isn't fully understood. The leading theory links it to our mirror neuron system, the same brain cells that fire when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform that action. These neurons are crucial for social bonding, learning, and empathy. Studies have shown that people who are more empathetic are more susceptible to contagious yawning. It's a subconscious signal that you're in tune with the people around you. So next time you catch a yawn, don't think of it as a sign of boredom. Think of it as your brain giving someone else a tiny, involuntary hug. From the social quirks of our waking hours to the strange journey into sleep. Have you ever been drifting off, perfectly relaxed, when suddenly your entire body jolts and you feel like you've just fallen off a curb? That shocking twitch brings us to fact 85. This phenomenon is called a hypnic jerk, and it's experienced by up to 70% of people. Again, science doesn't have one definitive answer, but there are two fascinating theories. One suggests it's simply a misfire between the nerves in your reticular activating system and your ventrolateral preoptic nucleus, basically your brain's on-off switch for consciousness, as your body transitions into sleep paralysis and your muscles give one last powerful spasm. But a more compelling evolutionary theory suggests it's another relic, this time from our primate ancestors who slept in trees. The brain, sensing the muscles relaxing and misinterpreting it as the body literally falling, would send a jolt to the muscles to wake the primate up so it could readjust and avoid a dangerous tumble to the ground. Your brain is just trying to make sure you don't fall out of a tree that hasn't existed for millions of years. Our brains can create the sensation of falling, but they can also create light out of thin air. Go ahead, try it. Close your eyes and gently press on your eyelids for a few seconds. Those swirling patterns of light and color you see aren't memories or dreams. Fact 86 is that these are called phosphenes, and you're literally seeing your brain's neurons fire. The cells in your retina, which normally convert light into electrical signals, can't tell the difference between stimulation from a photon of light and stimulation from physical pressure. When you press on your eye, you're activating those cells, which then send the same old signal to your visual cortex. Your brain, ever the diligent interpreter, receives the signal and says, "Ah, must be light," and creates those strange, beautiful patterns from nothing. It's a private little light show, brought to you by the quirks of your own biology. Seeing stars by rubbing your eyes is one thing. But what if your eyes were naturally built to see a world filled with 100 times more color? For most of us, our vision is built on 3 types of cone cells in our retinas for sensing red, green, and blue light. We're trichromats. But, and this is fact 87, a very small percentage of the population, almost exclusively women, are born with a 4th type of cone cell. This is a condition called tetrachromacy. A 4th cone, likely for perceiving colors in the yellow-orange spectrum, doesn't just add one more color. It exponentially expands the number of color combinations the brain can perceive. While the average person can distinguish about 1 million different colors, a true tetrachromat could theoretically see up to 100 million. To them, a simple green lawn might look like a dazzling mosaic of jade, emerald, lime, and a dozen other distinct shades that we don't even have names for. It's a genuine human superpower, hidden in plain sight. The brain's ability to construct our perception of light and color is staggering, but its power goes even deeper. It can convince the body to heal itself based on nothing more than a belief. This brings us to the incredible power of the placebo effect, our 88th fact. A placebo is a substance with no therapeutic effect, like a sugar pill. Yet, in clinical trials, patients given a placebo often report very real, measurable improvements in their condition. They're not just imagining it. Brain scans show that when someone takes a placebo they believe is a painkiller, their brain actually releases its own natural pain-relieving chemicals called endorphins. Their pain genuinely subsides. The placebo effect has been shown to reduce symptoms in everything from Parkinson's disease to depression to irritable bowel syndrome. It is undeniable proof that your mindset, your beliefs, and your expectations have a direct and powerful physiological effect on your body. Your brain is the most powerful pharmacy you have. If the brain can heal the body, it can certainly get creative with how it processes the world. Imagine tasting a word, or seeing a symphony of colors every time you hear a trumpet play. This isn't science fiction. It's a neurological condition called synesthesia, and it's our 89th amazing fact. Synesthesia is a crossing of the senses, where stimulating one sensory pathway automatically and involuntarily triggers an experience in a second, unrelated pathway. For a synesthete, the number 7 might always be yellow. The name Alex might taste like lemon custard, or a violin's note might feel like stroking velvet. There are over 80 known types of synesthesia, creating unique perceptual realities for those who experience it. It's thought to be caused by extra cross-wiring between sensory regions of the brain. For most of us, our sensory inputs run on parallel tracks. For a synesthete, those tracks intersect in beautiful and unpredictable ways, creating a richer and certainly more interesting reality. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, is this it? Is this the final version of a human being? After millions of years of evolution, have we finally arrived? Or are we just a rough draft for something else entirely? We've journeyed through the intricate present of your body, from the atoms to the organs. But now, we're going to look at the ghosts of the past and the blueprints of the future hidden inside you to understand the body you might one day have. Let's start with the echoes of our ancient selves, the evolutionary leftovers you're still carrying around. Take a look at your wrist. Tense your hand and see if a tendon pops up in the middle. If so, that's the palmaris longus muscle. It was incredibly useful for our tree-swinging ancestors who needed a powerful grip. But for us, not so much. In fact, about 15% of the human population doesn't even have it anymore, and they have the exact same grip strength as those who do. It's become so non-essential that surgeons often harvest it for reconstructive surgery elsewhere in the body. This isn't the only ghost in your machine. For centuries, the appendix was dismissed as a useless, troublemaking relic, but we now know it functions as a safe house for your beneficial gut bacteria, rebooting your digestive system after an illness. Then there are your wisdom teeth, which become impacted and painful because modern human jaws have shrunk faster than our teeth have, a result of our softer, cooked food diet. These are not mistakes. They are footnotes from a previous edition of the human body, reminding us that evolution is a messy, ongoing process of addition and subtraction. But evolution isn't always about slowly losing things over millions of years. Sometimes it works in hyperspeed, creating what looks like a genuine superpower in just a few thousand years. I'm talking about your ability to drink a glass of milk as an adult. For most of human history, and for most mammals today, the gene that produces lactase, the enzyme that digests the sugar in milk, shuts down after infancy. But around 10,000 years ago, a random genetic mutation occurred in dairy farming populations in Europe that kept that gene switched on for life. This is called lactase persistence. In a world of frequent famine, the ability to get calories, fat, and protein from an animal's milk was a colossal survival advantage. This single mutation spread like wildfire, and it's a stunning example of gene-culture coevolution. Our cultural practice of raising cattle literally reshaped our DNA. So while our bodies were gaining new tricks, something truly strange was happening inside our skulls. You'd assume that over time, human brains would just get bigger and bigger, but that's not what happened. The human brain has actually been shrinking for the last 20,000 years.
The average brain of a modern Homo sapien is about 10% smaller than that of our Cro-Magnon ancestors. That's a chunk of brain matter about the size of a tennis ball gone. The immediate, terrifying thought is, are we getting dumber? But the leading theory is far more fascinating. As we formed complex societies, we began to outsource our intelligence.
We don't all need to know how to build a shelter, track an animal, and identify medicinal plants. We can rely on the specialized knowledge of others. We store information externally, in books and now on the internet. Our brains may have become smaller, not because they are less capable, but because they became more efficient, streamlining their processes for a world where we think collectively, not just individually. Our brains and bodies are exquisitely tuned to this planet. But what happens when we take them somewhere they never, ever evolved to be? When we go to space, our bodies began a frantic, desperate process of adaptation. The lack of gravity immediately confuses the vestibular system in your inner ear, leading to space adaptation syndrome, a disorienting period of nausea and confusion that affects over half of all astronauts. With no gravity to work against, your body decides it doesn't need such strong bones and begins to shed bone mass at a rate of 1 to 2% per month. That's the equivalent of what an elderly person with osteoporosis might lose in an entire year. Fluids, no longer pulled down by gravity, shift upwards into the head and chest, creating the puffy face, bird legs look common in astronauts. Our very biology is a love letter to Earth's gravity, and taking it away reveals just how deeply that relationship is coded into us. But you don't have to leave the planet to fundamentally change how your body operates. In fact, you're doing it right now, with every meal you eat, every workout you do, and every stressful deadline you meet. This is the world of epigenetics. If your DNA is the hardware, the physical book of your life, epigenetics is the software, the collection of highlighters and sticky notes that tell your body which chapters to read and which to ignore. Environmental factors like diet and stress can attach chemical tags to your genes, switching them on or off without ever changing the DNA sequence itself. A stressful period can tag a gene related to inflammation, making it more active. A healthy diet can silence a gene that predisposes you to heart disease. And here's the truly mind-bending part. Some of these epigenetic tags appear to be heritable. The lifestyle choices you make today could potentially influence the gene expression and health of your children and even your grandchildren, a form of biological memory passed down through generations. This power to adapt and change is most beautifully expressed in the 3-pound universe between your ears. For a long time, we believed the adult brain was a fixed, static organ. We now know that is completely false. The brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, known as neuroplasticity, continues throughout your entire life. When you learn a new language, you can physically see the density of gray matter increase in language centers of the brain. The famous study of London taxi drivers showed that the part of their brain responsible for spatial memory, the hippocampus, was significantly larger than average because they had memorized the city's labyrinthine streets. This isn't just about learning new skills. It's the mechanism that allows stroke survivors to retrain healthy parts of their brain to take over the functions of damaged areas. Your brain is not a static blueprint. It is a dynamic, living cityscape, constantly demolishing old roads and building new skyscrapers based on your experiences. This lifelong potential for the brain to rewire itself hints at a truly remarkable possibility for our future. What if aging didn't have to mean inevitable cognitive decline? Meet the super-agers. This is a term for people in their 80s and beyond,
whose memory and cognitive function are just as sharp as people decades younger. And this isn't just anecdotal, it's biological. Brain scans reveal that superagers' brains defy time. They resist the age-related atrophy, or shrinking, that is typical in older adults. In fact, the cortex, the outer layer responsible for memory and attention, is just as thick as that of a 50-year-old. Scientists have also found that these individuals have a much higher concentration of special, large brain cells called von Economo neurons, which are linked to social intelligence and our ability to persevere through difficulty. They are living proof that a long life doesn't have to be a slow decline, and they hold the clues to a future where we can all extend our health span, not just our lifespan. From evolutionary leftovers to brains that rewrite themselves, we are a species in constant flux. But all of these changes have been reactive, our bodies responding to the environment. The next great leap in human adaptation will be something entirely new. It will be proactive. It will be designed. This is the dawn of gene editing. Using a revolutionary tool called CRISPR-Cas9, scientists have discovered a way to edit DNA with incredible precision, like a find and replace function for the code of life. This technology holds the staggering potential to one day cure genetic diseases before they ever manifest. We could theoretically snip out the faulty gene that causes Huntington's disease, correct the mutation for cystic fibrosis, or repair the DNA responsible for sickle cell anemia. It moves humanity from being a product of evolution to being a director of it. We are on the cusp of being able to change the very source code of what makes us human, a power that carries with it both infinite promise and profound responsibility for what future you might truly become. We've traveled an incredible road together, haven't we? Through the labyrinth of our own biology. We've decoded the brain, mapped the heart, and witnessed the silent, microscopic wars waged within ourselves. We've seen the raw power, the delicate elegance, and the outright bizarre reality of the human machine. But we're not done. We've saved the most profound, the most universe-altering truths for last. Because to truly understand your body, you have to look beyond the skin, beyond the planet, and into the heart of dying stars. It sounds like poetry, but it is literal, cosmic fact. Almost every single atom that makes up you, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon that forms the basis of your life, was not created on Earth. These elements were forged billions of years ago inside the fiery cores of stars. When those ancient stars reached the end of their lives, they exploded in magnificent supernovas, scattering these newly formed, life-giving elements across the cosmos. Over eons, gravity pulled this stardust together to form new stars, new planets, and eventually, you. You are not just living on Earth. You are, in the most fundamental way possible, a piece of the heavens. Every time you look up at the night sky, you are looking at the factory where your body was built. You are stardust, given a temporary, breathtaking consciousness. And from that cosmic origin story, let's zoom into a universe just as vast, but infinitely smaller. Tucked inside the nucleus of almost every one of your trillions of cells is your DNA. We know it's the blueprint of life, but its information density is something that dwarfs our best technology. A single gram of DNA can theoretically store around 215 petabytes of data. That's 215 million gigabytes. To put that in perspective, all the movies ever created, every song ever recorded, every book ever written could be stored on a pile of DNA that weighs less than a postage stamp. The entire digital footprint of humanity, all of Google, Facebook, everything, could fit in the back of a van. Your body doesn't just contain the blueprint for you.
It holds a data storage technology so impossibly advanced and efficient that it makes a supercomputer look like an abacus. It is the universe's hard drive, and you carry a copy in every cell. If your DNA is the universe's most sophisticated hard drive, then your brain is its most complex galaxy. We often try to quantify the brain's power in computer terms, but the scale is so much grander. Your brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons. Now, that's a big number, but it's not the most impressive part. Each of those neurons can form thousands of connections, or synapses, with other neurons. The result is a network of somewhere between 100 trillion and a quadrillion synapses. Let's try to visualize that. There are an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy. This means you have, at a minimum, more neural connection points in your skull than there are stars in our entire galaxy. It's not a metaphor. The intricate, flashing web of thoughts, memories, and feelings inside your head is, by the numbers, a structure more complex than the stellar neighborhood we call home. You don't just contain stardust, you contain an entire galaxy of connections. But for all that cosmic grandeur, our bodies are also home to the most subtle and strange secrets. And here is one you've likely never considered. You glow in the dark. It's true. Your body emits its own light, a phenomenon called bioluminescence. Now, before you run into a dark closet to check, this light is about 1,000 times less intense than what our naked eyes are capable of perceiving. Using highly sensitive cameras, scientists have captured this human glow, discovering that it fluctuates throughout the day. We shine brightest in the late afternoon, particularly around our cheeks, forehead, and neck. This faint light isn't magic, it's a byproduct of our metabolism. The same chemical reactions that power your cells release a tiny number of photons as waste. You are, quite literally, a vessel of light, radiating a faint, invisible aura of your own life force into the world. From the faint glow of photons to the rushing river of life within. We've talked about blood, but we haven't truly grasped its impossible scale. If you were to take all the blood vessels in your body, the arteries, the veins, the microscopic capillaries, and lay them out in a single, continuous line, that line would stretch for more than 60,000 miles, or 100,000 kilometers. That is enough to circle the entire planet Earth more than twice. Think about that. You have a circulatory superhighway folded inside of you that is longer than the circumference of the world it lives on. This network is so vast and so intricate that it ensures no cell is more than a few cell widths away from a capillary, a vital lifeline delivering oxygen and nutrients. It is a planetary-scale delivery system working flawlessly inside you right now. This constant delivery, this metabolic fire, means your body is in a perpetual state of renewal. And this leads to a philosophical revelation that might just change how you see yourself. You are not the same person, physically, that you were 7 years ago. In fact, you're not even the same person you were last month. Your body is constantly replacing its own cells. Your skin replaces itself every 2 to 4 weeks. You get a new liver every 150 to 500 days. Even your skeleton, which seems so solid and permanent, is completely remodeled roughly every 10 years. This is the ship of Theseus paradox playing out in your own flesh and blood. If every plank of a ship is replaced over time, is it still the same ship? If every cell in your body is eventually replaced, are you still you? The answer points to something deeper than our physical parts. You are not a static object. You are a process, a pattern, a river of matter flowing through time, held together by something we are only just beginning to understand. And that brings us to our final fact, the 100th and most profound truth of all. After this entire journey, after exploring every system,
every cell, every mind-boggling number, we arrive at the single greatest mystery known to science, and it is the very thing that is allowing you to experience this moment. It is your consciousness. We can map the brain. We can trace the electrical signals firing between neurons. We know which parts of the brain light up when you feel love or fear or recognize a face. We know the how of the brain's mechanics, but we have absolutely no scientific explanation for the why of subjective experience. Why do you feel the warmth of the sun? Why do you see the color red? Why is there an inner you that experiences the world, thinks thoughts, and feels emotions? This is known as the hard problem of consciousness. It's the ghost in the machine, the observer behind your eyes. Science can explain every single biological process that makes your body a living organism, but it cannot yet explain the simple fact that you are aware that you are alive. And that, right there, is the ultimate revelation. From a universe of stardust, you were formed. Inside you is a library of information that could hold all of human knowledge, a network of connections that rivals a galaxy, and a river of life that could circle the globe. You are a constantly changing, light-emitting biological marvel. And at the center of it all is a conscious awareness, a mystery that scientists may never solve. The most amazing fact isn't just one thing. It's the whole picture. The most incredible, complex, and mysterious object in the known universe isn't out there in the cosmos. It's right here. It's you.